So, I have a metric ton of Sonic news. There's not only the Sonic Central announcements, but even the day after the event, SEGA of Japan is dropping announcements of a ton of collabs, and we've got a bunch of info on the next mainline Sonic games title, potentially being Sonic Rangers from the metadata of the teaser itself, and an old leak that's resurfacing that gives us a lot of details on the next game, and so far, it seems like a pretty legitimate leak. Oh, and about the collabs, one of them is going to be Minecraft. And I have some very good and unfortunately bad news. Aww. And an exclusive update.
Exclusive.
On literally, as of the time of recording this, info that came out 5 minutes ago about the anniversary game and the collection. So, before we get into it all, make sure to drop a like, not only because we have been blessed with a ton of official Sonic news, but as a W, because all the leaks were real. So, if you're not subscribed with bell on, you are 100% confirmed missing out on official news. And that's an L. With so much to get into, let's start with the Sonic Colors Ultimate, as it was an absolute win. So, as most of you probably know, the other day at Sonic Central, the 30th anniversary, virtual event, it was more of like a video. Sonic Colors Ultimate was officially announced. Round of applause, we did it. And before we get into the details of what we know about it, which is a lot, I'm gonna show my live reaction because not only is it interesting, but I think it's very indicative of a lot of people's concerns, which we'll address after. So what we've all been waiting for, the moment. What's it going to be called? Is it going to be Ultimate or Remastered? This looks like, is this actually it? This has to be the original one, right? That's gameplay from the original one, right? That looks awful. This does not look like PS5 or Series X. What did they remaster? The graphics look the same. I mean, I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna play it. I've never played Colors before, but this is not the pretty game I was expecting. Okay, epic. Ultimate! It is Ultimate! The leaks were true! That means the collection's happening!
This year.
That's right! The leaks were true! It was even titled Ultimate, which I kind of doubted myself since the portfolio listing said remastered. But unfortunately, there's been a mixed reaction among fans, partially due to it seeming not as up to par as other modern games, with comparisons being made to the original Sonic Colors with some basic upscaling done in emulators. I have heard a lot of people saying this is an older build, but then why did they show it? There's shots in this that just objectively look worse, and this event was made by SEGA. So they should have access to the newest build. I mean, the video wasn't that highly edited. How much could they have done in a single month? But alas, there was a screenshot of a newer build posted, which is an improvement. But it still looks like if it couldn't run on original Wii hardware, it'd be able to run on the Wii U. If you look closely, the plants look all stiff and plasticky, and the textures still look pretty dated. Hey, don't get me wrong. It does look better than the original Wii version that wasn't even in HD, but I don't think it looks better than Unleashed on the 360, and that came out in 2007. I'm still excited, as I never got a chance to experience Sonic Colors hands-on. So I have no concept of how well it plays, but I hear pretty good things. But since this game was made for the incredibly weak Wii hardware, this will probably be totally beefed up. I'm hoping it looks better by the time of release, but that's just a few months away, so who knows? I'm still gonna get it regardless, and I'm gonna give it a fair chance. I am excited. Future Jaden here. I wanted to put this quick little insert in because I felt like I came off really negative about Sonic Colors. It doesn't look bad, I should say that. It looks good, especially compared to the 480 Wii one. I think I personally was just a little underwhelmed compared to a lot of modern games, but I'm going to give this a fair chance like I said, and I am excited to pick it up. One interesting aspect to this all is a lot of discussion of Tails possibly being playable. It's not clear, because while in a lot of screenshots we can see Tails' icon in the top left, we know there will be bonus player icons you can get, so this isn't clear yet. Especially when in one of them you're still able to see Sonic on the screen. Granted, barely, so maybe it's not finished yet, I don't know. Or maybe it's just the icons. Hands up, I don't know on this one. We just gotta wait for SEGA to give us more info. We also got the collection that Zippo talked about in his first leak. And I knew we were going to get this the second I saw Sonic Colors. Ultimate, it is Ultimate. The leaks were true. That means the collection's happening.
This year.
We even got Sonic 3 like prophesized. The only thing that seemed wrong was that he said it would be in widescreen, but the gameplay shown was clearly in 4:3 aspect ratio. But after the reveal, Katie took to Twitter to clarify that it will be in full screen in the final release. Since making a game widescreen is one of the most popular and simple mods for games, it's very curious why they showed it like this. Given how almost every old game has this, it seems like it would be rather easy. But maybe we're seeing an entire graphical overhaul for these games like Sonic 2 HD had, which is unofficial, but I'm using it as an example. That would explain why they showed, quote, original gameplay, which I personally think confused a lot of people. Because Sonic 1 and 2 were widescreen, I assume the original gameplay is not referring to the gameplay being original from the collection, or from the, original Genesis versions, as it looks like the Christian Whitehead one, because Sonic 1 and 2 are widescreen. This means we technically haven't seen any gameplay yet from this, so hopefully we'll see some big graphical addition, which would 100% explain why they didn't want to show gameplay yet. This isn't confirmed yet, but it would make zero sense why they would show the 4:3 when making gameplay widescreen is literally that simple. And I briefly want to get into the collabs before we get into the next mainline Sonic game. SEGA of Japan announced a bunch more collaborations the day after the event. So there is a ton of freshly announced collabs to get into, so I'm just going to get through them quickly and briefly touch on the more significant ones. One of the biggest is Sonic will appear in one of the most popular Japanese game series, Shin Megami Tensei. And I know I pronounced that one right. And they haven't unveiled what he will look like yet, but when they do, you're going to hear a lot of hype about it, trust me. Also announced a clear vinyl that they say does not interfere with the interior and gently colors the view of the room. It's literally the opposite of color. What does this mean? Also, a Sonic watch. So you can constantly remember that time is money and gotta go fast. Honestly, this looks slick and it isn't that expensive for a watch, so I'm somewhat considering getting it. And to run off a couple more, new Phantasy Star Online 2 Sonic event, Sonic X Hello Kitty again, and Sonic Trip. This is actually pretty litty. Now here's an interesting one. Actually, the most interesting one, IMO. Sonic will be in the fighting game of the Omae wa Shinderu guy. This will actually be pretty sick and gives me big Sonic the Fighters vibes, because I think Sonic in a new fighting game will be really fun to see. And I think this collab is going to surprise you guys how much you like it. Speaking of Sonic the Fighters, that will be playable in Lost Judgment, which looks like a legitimately really fun game, and it will be a fun little inclusion. Lost Judgment is a spin-off of the Yakuza series, so if you've never played one of those, you'll still be able to jump right in. And now, the glorious meme of the show! We got Sonic in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics that's happening in July 23rd this year, 2021. Listen, let's just pretend it's 2020, okay? That didn't happen. And you know what? You might as well have a guy in a Sonic mascot outfit swimming alongside Michael Phelps. It just makes sense.
And much more.
What is
to compete in this year's Olympics.
And of course, the most subtle one, but in all seriousness, this is the collab I'm the most excited for. Sonic in Minecraft. Guys, can you drop a Minecraft bruh? If we get 3,000 bruhs, SEGA has to show us exclusive footage of Minecraft Sonic. They just have to. All right. Let's get into the teaser for the new mainline Sonic game, as I know that's what you want. I'm gonna show my reaction to the teaser before we get into what details we've picked up from the project, as the teaser's less than a minute long.
Bazooka-san's so cool.
Bazooka-san.
Like, he gets so much hate and he still always shows up in the videos. So what everyone was talking about. What? Whoa. Whoa. And that forms some ancient relic that is, what does this look like? ZP? Zippo? That's how he knows. Zippo is the next Sonic game.
So, there's obviously a lot of subtle things to take in here. The more obvious being the purple cubes coming from his shoe and his dark eco trail he's leaving behind him. And might I add, he is doing a decently large amount of environmental damage, leading me to believe this is Santiago! Ah! But seriously, people tore this video apart, even going as far to rip the 4K version and look through the metadata from it. This revealed a lot of files referring to this game is Sonic Rangers, but we don't know for certain that is the title. Many are insinuating that, but it could be possible there's some kind of enemy called Rangers or something. Partially because that sounds like a really weird title for a Sonic game. It might even just be the production code name. I wouldn't certainly say it's called Sonic Rangers, but I definitely wouldn't rule out the possibility. And here's where it gets spicy. The real interesting part to the whole Rangers thing is that this actually lines up with an old leak we got. And considering that the Zippo leaks were confirmed real by these announcements, very possible. Also, Rangers is such a random name, there's no way it's a coincidence. But I have seen stranger coincidences. And this leak lines up perfectly with what we saw, so it's kind of hype. But some possible disappointments. So I'm just gonna read through this, as this is all useful info. This is from January this year, so way before any official info of this got out. Did a focus test of a new Sonic game called Sonic Rangers, which is an open world adventure game that takes heavy inspiration from Breath of the Wild. That sounds epic. I did 2 demos, a 20-minute long exploration of the open world and a final boss battle. Open world is populated with small enemies, puzzles, and platforming challenges. Sounds fun. Completing puzzles, challenges, and enemies rewards XP, which can be redeemed in a skill tree. Sonic RPG, interesting. Skill tree unlocks abilities like the spin cycle, where when you hold the Y button, Sonic starts tracing a line behind him, and if you finish a circle, it attacks all enemies inside the circle. Lock-on attack returns. Come on, we knew that was happening. There are bosses spread throughout the world. Defeating them grants orbs. Orbies? If you get enough Orbies, you can go to a portal and go to cyberspace. Cyberspace levels are generation styled and the music goes hard. You know we love us some hard Sonic music. Beating them fast enough grants Chaos Emeralds, but here's the disappointing part. Exploration and combat was super boring, very button mashy, but whatever. That's just kind of typical for Sonic, to be honest. I think all the 3D games kind of have that in them. New voice acting by Roger and no one else was present, so they're definitely sticking to the general theme at least. Interesting considering recent news. And now for the final, I think, boss. After gathering all of the emeralds, you can cut through a thick fog you couldn't before in the open world. Sounds cool. Gigantic tree robot thing is the boss. I doubt they would give him the final boss in this demo, by the way. Maybe it seems like that, but a lot of games do that where they put like what looks like the final boss in the beginning and it's really easy. And then you get weak or whatever and you have to fight him at the end of the game, and when you beat him, you get him. Yay! I could name like a billion games that have done that, especially because it sounds like in the next part you're very OP. Fly around it as Super Sonic, utilizing Spin Cycle and other abilities, mainly mashing buttons. Can't take damage on a timer of rings. A Ghost Girl refills your ring content multiple times. Danny Phantom and Sonic? And the demo ended after defeating the boss, which in my mind, if it's a demo, it's obviously like the first or second boss. You know, the tutorial. Game is still definitely early on in dev, but it was rough. Not a fun time from what I played. And granted, this was written a few months ago, so a lot of it has probably progressed. Personally, I am excited to see a Sonic open world game, and hopefully it's as it's described, and not just a hub world connecting to a bunch of different levels, but truly open world. That would be wild. Like Breath of the Wild, get it? So, the Sonic 30th website is now fully up and online, and there's some interesting things to see here. They have a bunch of various events listed, obviously the Sonic Central, but others as well. Here's what interests me the most. There's going to be the Ring series, which is listed as TBC, which means the date is still to be confirmed. There, many game creators and fans will talk about how Sonic has influenced them.
Psst, Sega. Sonic and I share the birthday. And as a decently large Sonic creator, some would say the #1 source of all Sonic news.
I wouldn't oppose to being in it.
Slide through.
Oh, and you know, speaking of my birthday, the 23rd, we're also going to have a Sonic Symphony that's going to feature Crush 40, Tomoya Ohtani, and others. I'm actually really excited to see Tomoya Ohtani's DJ set. Like, dude's a legend.
Legendary!
Sound the alarms. I have a new update as I'm finishing editing this, and this is 100% confirmed, flat out. The title will be Sonic Rangers. Zero doubt at this point, and here's what I've got to prove it. SEGA did a big oopsie when they put out this press release, and I'm just gonna read it because this is epic. So, announcing new console experiences, Sonic Colors Ultimate and Sonic Rangers. Woo! Yup, it turns out someone accidentally included this in their initial press release.
Thanks, homie. I see you.
So to be honest, I am totally hyped for an open world Sonic game. This concept reminds me of the fan game that everyone said,
SEGA hire this man for.
But like instead SEGA totally jacked his idea, and I'm 1000% okay with that because this looks like it will be a truly legendary game if done correctly. And it looks like they're finally learning from their mistakes. Round of applause for Sonic Team. So remember to keep this game in your prayers at night as well as me. And I will always get to all the newest and drippiest Sonic news while covering all sides of it. That's right, baby. The Sonic Show is the #1 source of all Sonic news. So if you're not subscribed, idiot, go correct it. Sub and bell to not miss out on the future of Sonic's life. As there's a lot more to talk about, but I just want to touch on a little of almost everything.
Also, go follow my Twitch Sonic Show Live,
as it's the littest Twitch there is. And as always, I love you. Peace.